LLM SEO tools in 2025. Why so expensive? That's a lot going on, right? It's a lot of things that you're wondering, what is about to happen? Why is this so expensive? And I felt like this is a perfect time to come and share this information with you in voice mode because some people don't read. So I want to make sure that you can listen to this and then you can go read more if you want to learn more about this. So yeah, there's a lot of talk going on and I want to drop this talk with some information that we can demystify in the next hour because I have a long day today and I said I have this hour slot to make sure we can achieve this mission. So a lot of people are coming in and I'm excited. I'm going to break it down today so we can talk about it and just break it down in its best fashion. I have it from the highest price to the lowest price. So we're going to dive deep in that today. Hey, John, how you doing?
I'm good, Favor, and hope you're having a great day, man.
I am. Thank you. It's been a really beautiful day, blessed day. I actually got off a podcast interview with Julie Loken. Shout out to Julie Loken. And, we were talking about, how we met in our event in Chicago. And, I was like, hey, shout out to John J. Wiley too. So it was great that we just had an amazing time today, plus other things too that has been happening according throughout the day. And I'm excited because I don't do rooms all the time, but these days I'm trying to do rooms that are more specific. So I'm not just showing up. I want to make sure that when you're listening to these things, you can come back to the replay because I know you listen to the replay. So thanks for being here. Excited about this and want to break down what this large language model SEO is and what the tools are and why they're expensive, why they're so expensive, and why they even around. Like, what are they really doing? And you can do the research. So I'm going to be putting links in the chat. So let's get active. If you have any questions, raise your hand or put it in the chat, leave a comment so we can talk about it because it's not just me going to talk about this. I want everyone to be part of this conversation too. So John, we'd love you to introduce yourself, let people know who you are, and then I'll introduce myself and we can get started.
Yeah, my name is John, and for those who don't know, I'm a radio show host and a podcaster. I'm a retired Baltimore police sergeant, and I started getting into the radio business about and since 1999 is my first one. It was an audio blog. Then I went to night school, became full-time FM music jock, and part of my responsibility was marketing stations primarily with social media, primarily the Meta properties, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. And in 2017, I launched a podcast, taking what I learned from radio, combining it with the human element of law enforcement and investigating crimes or surviving trauma, crime victims primarily. And it was recruited by radio. Now it's syndicated by Talk Media Network. We have 144 affiliate AM, FM radio stations across the United States. We broadcast weekly to about 48 million combined population. And then the episodes go online as a podcast. Currently, it is a top 0.05% ranked podcast worldwide according to Listen Notes. Good Pods has it as the number 21 indie news documentary podcast, if I got the category correct. And A Million Podcast ranks it as the number one law enforcement podcast in the world. So, that's my jam. So, social media and then SEO has been big for me.
Thank you so much. Emphasize on the big.
It
That is
was big. Did I say it was big before? It had big results.
massive. Thank you so much, John. Yes, SEO is being talked about, and some people think it's going somewhere or going nowhere or literally leaving the ecosystem. And I'm like, no way, it's not going anywhere. Email is not going anywhere. SEO is not going anywhere. AI is definitely not going anywhere, and you're not going anywhere either. So, as long as you're living and breathing and you're having a blessed day, then you have an opportunity to make something out of your day and understand why these topics are very important today. Because tomorrow, this information might not be as recent, but it's going to be evergreen and foundational for you to reset or preset whatever you want to intentionally connect to when you're starting to track your brand online. Because those days, I mean, let me just race back just a little bit. If you think about back in the day when people were searching for their brands online, most people would use Google Alerts. We still do, Bing Alerts. You can put it out there and you get to see if somebody mentioned your name or your brand name, you get an email, right? Someone mentions your name, you get an email. That's a notification in your email. That's great. But now it's not just about who's mentioning you on Google or Bing, it's where you're showing up. Are you on Grok? Are you on Google? Are you on Cloud? Are you on Perplexity? Are you on Siri? Are you on Alexa? Are you on Google Home? These platforms sound like Greek, but we all know them. But how to be on them, that takes SEO. So that's why I said SEO is not going anywhere. I think all this AIO, GEO, it's just cosmetics for SEO, honestly, because we're dealing with AI. That's an enhanced type of activity. We're dealing with technology, we're dealing with speed, we're dealing with content, right? These are the things that we are dealing with on a daily basis. So, how do we daily reconnect with the people who actually want to connect with us on a first hand basis and help? Because if you're a business, you have to also see who your direct competitors are and also who your indirect competitors are. Because if you don't know those two, then it's going to be hard for you to really have a sharp target at who you're really connecting with and why you're connecting with them at the same time. So your business should not just be based on I have connections. It should be based on I want to make an intention to create a reaction that's going to allow someone to find me through a mention. When you're mentioned on a search engine, not only Google, but also on Bing, on Yandex, on DuckDuckGo, on Brave, on Safari. Safari has their own suggested website option. Where do you think Safari is coming from? Apple. Apple Intelligence. Where's Apple Intelligence coming from? So when you start kind of like tracking back, then it's not just the technical ChatGPT that you want to be on. That's great, but some people can be searching on a different platform, and it's going to change a huge way on how your business is going to run. And why it's expensive, it's because it's still early. Some of these things right now may not be as expensive as they sound because it's not going to have as much threshold as it used to, and it could, right? But it can still go up because it could go down. It depends on how you're going to put it. So we're going to put it in a way that you can understand how it works, and then you can do your research. And then from doing your research, you're able to say, aha, okay, now I see what platform I want to use and why I want to use this platform. So we're going to dive deep into this today. And I wanted to just say hello to you, Rocky. Welcome to Clubhouse. Welcome back. Glad to have you here. I've been having a great time in your rooms. Thank you for being here. John as well. Hope you're well. Julie, I see you. Thank you for being here. Percy, Abundance, Michael, Melanie, June, Princess, Eman, Nyambi or Nyambi, please correct me if I'm wrong, and RP, thank you for being here. Appreciate y'all. How you guys doing? Rocky, what's going down?
Hi. Nothing. On my off day, eating some Taco Bell. About to hop in the car, drop my kid off some clothes. But nothing much. I enjoyed you in my room earlier as well. And Julie, thanks for coming.
Thanks for being here, Julie, John, and Rocky, and John as well. It's a Julie, John, Rocky room, and favorite too. Hey, what's up, John?
Hey, hey, yeah, just sitting here working on some new LLM strategies, and yeah, it's kind of a rainy day here in northern Illinois, so I'm just focused in, dialed in on getting some of my SOPs done and getting some new training done for my team. So all good.
I love to
John,
hear that.
I got to know where it's raining in Northern Illinois and where you are in Northern Illinois because it's not raining here.
Oh, I am just southwest of Rockford, so
Oh, you're in a different part of the state. Got it. I'm
yeah.
in
Where are
Chicago.
you at?
So. I'm in Chicago, Arlington Heights. So I'm like, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
raining here, but it could be coming our way since you're
Oh,
in
yeah, yeah.
Rockford. Okay, cool.
Cool, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to
Thanks,
meet you.
James.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
anybody who's here wants to clarify all of this nonstop fire hose information, I found it really, really helpful to use AI. I mean, this is going to sound kind of straightforward or kind of obvious when I say it, but really to take all this information and let AI put it into a format where the human brain, which is typically like an outline, can consume it and you get clarity on it. One of the big things I see right now is just getting clarity on what's available, what can do what. Stop letting AI do what a human can do, right? And let do what it should be doing. And that's kind of a consensus on the high level SEO, what I've been hearing through different interviews and things like that. A lot of people are just not using it to their full capacity. So, anyways, that's what I'm working on.
Love that. Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing that in because a lot of businesses, even corporations, are not really understanding how to work this thing. It's like this new toy that you don't know how to use because there's no manual and you have to figure it out because you need it. So it's like, what are we going to do? But I feel like it's when your creative parts of you come out the best and you're able to really kind of see like what's going on around and you can actually get to see where that's going in the future. So we'll talk about it as well. Julie, wanted to say hello. What you up to? What's going down? I was just telling John about our
Oh,
episode.
yeah, I was just on the best podcast ever. We Don't Play, featuring hosted by Favor Abasi Ike. Amazing. And what I'm actually working on, John, are you there? John Wiley?
I am.
I'm back on LinkedIn, John Wiley. Find
Yay!
me.
All right.
I
Let's
had to start over.
go.
I just looked
I
at
had to start over.
I just looked at LinkedIn ads and they're so expensive. So
Oh,
no go.
okay. Didn't even know, but that's okay because I have like 3 connections on LinkedIn now, which is very depressing actually. But it's a really good lesson. But I started brand new. So if you guys can find me, it's Julie Loken. I don't know, but we can talk. But I thought that's what I've been working on. So thanks for the question. Bye.
Wow, Julie. Oh my goodness. From scratch. You know what? We're
It
gonna ramp this
sucks.
up and I feel like it's okay. I found you and I just connected with you on LinkedIn. And everybody who's here, if you have a LinkedIn, I put Julie Loken's LinkedIn in the chat. So follow on LinkedIn, connect, because we're gonna ramp it up, Julie. Watch this space. We're gonna ramp up that account. You'll be like, man, that other account, man, we did that in a year. We did that in less than a year. For real, because I've seen LinkedIn work, especially because you have text, audio, and video. Yeah, it's definitely it's go time. So we'll definitely make that happen. So thank you for letting us know. Appreciate you and welcome on
Please
to the
connect with
platform.
me. I can't do this again. And to give Adrienne Barker props, she redid it for me because I couldn't, I just didn't even want to do it. So she helped me. So props, Adrienne.
Shout out to Adrienne. Thank you so much. Appreciate you for being here. Awesome. All right, guys. So we want to get into this topic and dive in. And I'm going to be diving in with links because I want us to talk about these things. I don't want us to just be hearing information. So as you're listening, please click, scroll, search, talk, chat, think, act. Don't just sit and write because that's not going to help any of us. So if you want to grow your business, the next thing you have to think about is starting off with connecting the dots. The first thing I want to connect for you is Ahrefs. I've just put the link in the chat. It's called Brand Radar. That's the first thing. And this, I'm starting with the most expensive in the market. Then I'm going to go down to the least expensive so that, we can go down, we can go to the first floor, ground floor, and, start from the top floor. So this platform is ranging, it's about 419 euros. So if you do like just say $500, $600. Just budget at least a grand for 2 months if you want to think about being on this platform on a monthly basis. Then that's the advanced level. So their basic level is 129 a month, and you're able to get some insights, but they don't give you the AI suggestions. So the AI suggestion starts from 249 a month. So it's like, okay, off the rip, you're already doing 250, right? Let's just call it even. So it's about 249 times 12 is 2988. That's about 3 grand that you're putting into Ahrefs to get the same result, right? And you can get it. They're really great. Ahrefs is one of the top go-to platforms. They've been crawling the entire web, and you can see it on their website since 2010. And right after Google indexing, Ahrefs indexing is one of the strong ones too out there. And if you think about what they're using it for and where they're creating it for you, yeah, you can definitely use it. They have a free webmaster tool that you can check it out. And then when you look at their brand radar AI, I don't just look at the price, I look at the value, right? If the value is right and the price is sounding wrong, there has to be a reason why the price is that price to match the value of what the cost is at the time. So I'm looking at Brand Radar AI, and you guys can check the link in the chat or just hit the link in the description. And you'll see that they're adding AI overviews, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and Microsoft Copilot. Guess what's missing there? Can anybody say what's missing on that list? What AI tool is missing on that list?
Chat GPT.
It's
Oh,
there.
I don't know. I'm not looking at the list. I'm driving. Sorry.
So, so AI overviews is there. AI overviews is there. ChatGPT is there. Perplexity is there. Gemini is there. That's Google. And then Microsoft Copilot is there. So which
Grok,
other?
Grok is missing.
Grok is missing. Okay. What else is missing?
Meta,
Klaviyo. What's Klaviyo?
Meta.ai is missing.
Meta.ai is missing. Thank you. I love this. VO is like video engine optimization, or just generating video from Google's products, but it's not the LLM tool that I'm referring to. But that's a good one. Claude, yes, thank you, Kim Ann. Claude, maybe Jamal was trying to say Claude and Klaviyo came up, but Claude, yes, Claude is missing. Those are big ones that are missing, and you're paying $199 a month. So I'm really wanting you to think about the price and the cost of what you're paying for. So when you're paying for these things, you're not blindly paying for because of the brand name. Oh, it's Nike, Gucci. Okay, let me spend $200, $20 because it's ChatGPT's subscription model. You have to know why you're even paying that price in the first place to get acquisition of that data so that you can intelligently know how to move. And there are free tools that you can use to do the same thing, but you also have to think about it. I'm going to tell you the ones that are expensive all the way to free. There's one that is free, and I'll tell you about it so that you can see for yourself. It's either you want to pay for this thing and not know the other options, or you like what you like, and that's up to you. I can't force you to not like what you don't like and like what you like. That's on you. But what I'm here to do is to show you the difference between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that you can say, okay, I want 3, I want 4 because 3 sounds better than 4, or 4 sounds better than 3 because fill in the gap or fill in the blank, because that's what your desired outcome is, not mine. But you can choose it because you maybe want to be an affiliate, or because you want to, your business brand has Ahrefs as part of the partners, or maybe you have a contract. It could be anything. But at the end of the day, you choose what you choose because you know what you know. So Ahrefs has Brand Radar AI, and that's how you're able to get those answers. So they even have a content kit, which is good, but that's $99 a month. So you're not paying one. It's technically you're paying $300 for their AI content helper. They have something called an AI content grader, and they have an AI content inventory. Then they have a $99 a month, which is Report Builder. And then they have a Project Boost Pro. Then they have a Project Boost Max. So by the time you're really thinking about your business, like enterprise right now is about 1,500 a month. That's what I'm seeing here. So it can go up and down. That's why I'm giving you guys like the highest ceiling so that you can still go above that. I mean, there'll be other platforms that will be more expensive than that. But if that happens, great. But that's where you're looking at. It's either you're going to pay $1,500 or you're going to spend $0. It's up to you. Now, before we go to the next tool, I know you've looked at the chat, you've looked at the link, you've probably seen some things. Anyone in the room, please feel free to unmic or say something in the chat. What do you think about this tool? Would you get it? And if you do, why? If you don't, why?
Can you say that again, Favor?
If you would decide between choosing getting this Ahrefs tool for your business based on the cost, would you get it? If you would, why? If you wouldn't get it, why not?
Well, see, Favorite and Rocky both have phone calls, so I'll go first. And I'm only halfway listening. I'm multitasking, so I'm not going to make a comment about that. But one thing that's missing from the equation is the value. Are they just pitching a product and the price? Or are they going to pitch a value? What's it do for me? How's it going to improve my search? How's it going to improve delivering my show or my content, or whatever it's going to be? That's what really matters. It's the value first, price second.
Hmm. I love that. Okay. John, what do you think? Are you gonna go Ahrefs mode?
Probably not. I think John just hit it on the head. Is like, what's the value? If you're if you're not if you have all these tools that we already have, and then it has to actually pay for itself, right? So I would have to go and research it more and stuff like that. But as of like right this second, with knowing what I know, which is not enough, I would say no. I would say no. Did you hear that, or did you get interrupted by the phone
Oh,
call?
I heard that. It's I'm thank God for Clubhouse where you can get a call, but you can still listen to audio until you accept the call, so you can still listen in as well. So I
Yeah,
heard it.
yeah. So as of right now, I would say no. I mean, there's tool. I mean, you can go and buy a, you know, a really expensive tool, but it just depends on what you need. Like I would say, getting clarity on who you are, what kind of business you have, what kind of what you need, and where you're going. Do you actually need that tool, or can you use the tools that you already have, that we have, right? So, yeah, I mean, if you need it, great. But as of right now, I would say no.
So that's like two no's. So we got one no from John, and we got another no from John. Julie, would you get it or nah?
I'm just going to say no because the two Johns said no. So, or if I follow whatever that John Wiley says, and now my new friend John.
Wow. See, that's three. And then for me too, that's about four. That's four. Because I wouldn't get it, and just because it's limited and it's pricey and it's branded, it feels like a Louis Vuitton bag, which is nice. You can get it, you can have fun with it, but when you spend $2,000, when you spend $1,500 a month, yeah, John said it right. You got to pay for itself at some point. At some point, it could be 3 years from now, it could be 3 weeks from now, it could be 3 hours from now. It's up to you. So these are platforms that I want you to just hear. If you've never heard them before, do your research. Don't say, oh yeah, because Favor said it, that's it. Please don't. Just do your research.
So I think this is probably well known for a lot of people, but maybe restating it in the obvious way again is there's a lot of different personalities out there, right? So if you're kind of the personality that thinks about things, analyzes it, or more analytical versus the opposite versus like just jumping in, right? So you got to make sure you analyze who you are, okay, and then the particular type of tool you need. So, for instance, all these tools are shiny objects. So you could spend 6 months just analyzing and figuring out tools, and spending a lot of time, a lot of time and money. So again, I think it goes back to what are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to do? And get clarity on that, right? Get clarity on what you want and put your blinders on. And if you don't need it, if you don't like, even if a tool is really good and you probably need it, and maybe you need it, that's where you have this boundary. Setting guidelines or boundaries, guardrails for your life and your business is key, right? So this is not just about SEO. This is about how to design a plan to make sure that you get where you want to go. So if your revenue goals are 10K a month, right? Or if you're just starting out, you want to get your first customer, whatever that is. Or if you're more seasoned and you're like, hey, I want to hit 50K a month, I want to hit 100K a month, then what are the tools you need? And just go with the base minimum tool, because you could spend a bunch of money on all these tools and then be in the hole. So I think it's super key. Like, just get on a call with a coach, like with like John or Favor or Julie. I mean, I take coaching calls too, but I'm not promoting that. I'm just saying, get clarity on what you need and what you don't need. And that way, when you're scrolling or this or that, the other, you're like, no, I don't need that. And you've already pre-programmed your mind to realize that you don't need it. I cannot say that strong enough, because I've made this mistake personally. Back to you, Favor.
Thank you, John. You have to do your research. There's no other way. You have to do your research, because I can't do the research for you. I can help you at least figure it out, but you have to figure everything else out, including your business model, your marketing model, your operating model, your financial goals, like your milestones. That's all your business. I'm just giving you like a little piece of the cake. But if you're able to eat that cake and turn into Popeyes and spinach your way through success, great. You can Mario Kart it. But at the end of the day, it's going to boil down to how you decide what you want to do with your business and how much you want to spend. What are your overhead costs? Because definitely no small business is going to spend $1,500 a month on a tool that's giving them half of the ecosystem's AI visibility dashboard. Some people may do it. Some people may just say, hey, we just want to be on this platform. We just want to be on Perplexity. That's totally fine. You don't have to be everywhere. Nobody's telling you to be everywhere. But if you want to be everywhere, then it takes research. It takes competitive research to know exactly how to move. So thank you so much for that feedback, John. The second tool I want to talk about
Wait, hold on
before we
one
go.
second. Let me
Go
just
ahead.
finish. I just thought of something, okay? If you guys want to pull out the gold of this conversation, because we're talking about it, figure out how to monetize that service and then sell it as a service. In other words, what that tool, like any tool, how did Uber come about? Everybody had a car. Can I get from here to there, right? So why is Uber successful? It's a vehicle, right? So what is this tool that we're talking about? It's a vehicle. LLMs are vehicles, right? So if you're looking for an opportunity, or if you're looking to pay for the tool or whatever, okay, again, guidelines, guardrails, but figure out what the tool does and how you can use it, and then go sell it and have your clients pay for the subscription, and you're just the middleman pulling the levers, or hire someone to do it for you, or something like that. But I'm saying like you got to think outside the box too. If you really want to dive into this world, businesses need to be on these platforms. Can you help them do that, or do you want to help them do it?
That is true. If you don't want to help them do it, then don't stress them out. If you want to help them do it, then figure it out. And it's either or, it's binary code. It's either one or zero. And you have to decide how that formula is going to turn out. Is it going to be a one times, a one divided by, a one plus, or one minus? And then when you're able to add and subtract, multiply and divide, then you're able to know what is important, where the market shares, what is the total available search market, what is the service available market, what is the service obtainable market. So when you draw a Venn diagram, or if you just draw a circle diagram, or whatever diagram it looks like, it has to match your goals, your intentions. It has to really build on these things because, yes, all these tools are great. And I love that you said that, John, with the analogy for cars. I got to think about that too when you talked about the different LLMs, and in my head I was like, yeah, that sounds like cars. You can either be a private auto dealer, or you could be at the auction, or you could sell exclusive, luxury, you could sell premium, you could sell basic. It's really up to you. You could be a Walmart, a Trader Joe's, or an Amazon, Whole Foods market. It's really up to you. At this point, it's like different cars. Depending on the car that you drive, gets the attention that you get based on the car that you're looking at or the car that you see. So if you're driving one of your cars on a Sunday night or a Sunday afternoon, it's because that's the feeling that you want to have. You want to have the rooftop, you want to have a sunroof. Because of that feeling, that is where you are. That's a Perplexity. If you want to just chill and have a cool time, enjoy legroom, that's a different car. That could be Gemini. It could be something else. So you're using different vehicles to go on the same road that everybody drives, including you and me, to get to the same destination that we both want to get at. So if we're going to think about the different models, the LLMs, which are also large language models, and there's also SLM as well, small language models. We also have that too. So when you think about the small and the large ones, your big question is, how are we going to use these platforms to really expand? And how do we know these platforms actually are important to us? So think about these platforms and ask yourself, are you going to use them or not? The second one I want to talk about is Profound. I've put the link in the chat. Profound. You can go to tryprofound.com. The first one is ahrefs.com/brand-radar. Now, if you go to tryprofound.com, you will see that they also have the same thing. You can get your brand mentioned by Grok. You can get mentioned by Meta AI. You can get mentioned by, just check the link in the chat as well, so that if you want to have a look at it as I'm speaking, you could also see it too and check it out. The price is $4.99 a month. That's technically $500 a month. It integrates to your Google Analytics, your AWS, your Cloudflare. If you have other tools, you can put them in there too. It gives you all the things that you need. You have exports, JSON, and CSV, comma, separate value, extensions. JSON is JSON. You can use these tools, right? It gives you the platforms. It tracks daily. Another thing that I don't know if you knew about this is that the prompts that you give, the prompts that people give, because there's their default prompts and their custom prompts. Let me just say that again. They're default prompts and custom prompts. When you use these platforms, you're going to get default prompts. So if you put your website is going to tell you default prompts based on your website's content. That's why I've always said that SEO is the cornerstone of your business, because if you don't feed, you are what you eat. If you feed on vegetables and fruits, you're going to taste good, you're going to feel good, you're going to look good, you're going to smell good, you're going to have that aura. If you eat junk, that's what it's going to feel like. You're going to feel terrible. You're going to feel lazy. You're going to feel bloated. So you are what you eat. So the same thing applies to your website. When you're feeding your website with links, with images, with videos, with blogs, with podcasts, with topics, with all these amazing things that you want to talk about as a business, then that's what you're going to feed back into the AI algorithm that's going to give back to you what you expected. It's not going to give you pineapples when you ask for pomegranates. You're going to get exactly what you asked for because of what you put in. So these platforms will tell you exactly what you are. I mean, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. That's the same concept with this. So you have to think about your business. This kind of platform, there's something called ChatGPT shopping, and they don't offer that. They even said explicitly on their platform, no, we don't give you that. And you're paying $4.99 a month. And they say small pricing, that's simple pricing for teams of all sizes. That's they have a profound light program, and then they have an enterprise. And that enterprise will definitely be over $4.99. And you're probably going to be getting all these other tools that you're not getting on the front end for that enterprise value. So if you're thinking about the answer engines, you have to ask yourself, which platforms do you want to be on and where do you want to connect? For these guys, Profound, you can get ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google AI Overviews, Copilot, Grok, Amazon Rufus. If you've never heard of Rufus, I'm sure you've seen it if you use Amazon. That's their AI tool. Meta AI and DeepSeek. So when you think about these platforms and you're going to use these platforms of these tools, they're going to tell you exactly where you're going to rank at. Yeah, you can use these tools, but it's going to be for $4.99 per month. That's the price. So let's go around again. John, Julie, anyone can start. Would you get it? Yes. Why? If you wouldn't, no. Why?
I hit $499 a month. It makes a big no for me because, and it's just for me, for my business model. Uh, I don't generate. I need to generate enough income off of website views and podcast listens to make that $4.99 a month worthwhile. I just don't know yet. So right now, I'd have to say no. Take a hard pass on that.
Okay. John, what about you?
I honestly don't have all the data to say yes or no, but I would say, yeah. Well, let's just go with no. So, I don't know. It's hard. Again, guardrails, guidelines. What's good for my business? What's not? If you need it, and you have the revenue, good. But I have a strict policy on if it's not needed, it's a hard no.
I love that. I think, was it Jay-Z that said this? He said, and don't quote me, guys, please do your research too, but I heard this quote and I'll paraphrase it. If you can't buy it twice, don't buy it once. If you can't buy it twice, don't buy it once. And I think that's a really good rule of thumb for discipline, like you said, John, about, hey, is this going to be for me or not? Is this what I'm dealing with? Do I need this? Because all you're doing is tracking. You're not up. It's not, the platform is not giving you like a titanium access to all these things. You're not going to be a Thor on AI overviews because you're paying that per month on the platform. It's going to reveal what you actually already do. So if your SEO is terrible, it's going to show you. If it's great, it's going to show you. If you're being mentioned on the platform, it's going to show you. Right now, for me, there are two mentions that are happening. One is about Clubhouse Plus, and the second is about the best podcast about Pinterest. And I'm ranking on Grok, I'm ranking on Pinterest, Alexa, on ChatGPT, and I'm seeing it, and I'm also hearing it too. So I'm also thinking about the default prompts and the custom prompts. So when I'm getting results, I'm hearing it because I'm seeing it. So it's not like I'm guessing. There's a way and a method to this, but you don't have to pay $500 or $4.99 a month for it. Julie, what about you? Are you on board or you're offshore?
Well, no, and I'm thinking about this because I do believe that you need to invest in your business. You need to spend money to make money. And I'm thinking about this because I never really realized that, let's just use ChatGPT as a search engine until all of a sudden on my website, I'm seeing ChatGPT is sending people my way. And I'm like, oh, this is so interesting. However, is that $500 a month? Can it be allocated in different ways? I'm all about, my business is more about mass media, getting mass media attention, getting on those TV shows, getting on the radio shows, getting those high value print ads. So I don't know that the ROI is there, but I am interested. I don't like $500 on a month is a big ask. However, I would need to see proof in the pudding, and I need to know a little bit more. So I'm on the fence. But if
Okay.
it makes a difference, then I need to see. Like I need to see it will make a difference. Otherwise, I'm not going to just say just because it's $500, but I need to see how it could change the trajectory of my business, and they need to be able to answer that. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. That was broken down really well. I love that you said that because you have to think about it. If I spend $500 a month and I'm making that back in a day, then okay, 100%. Yes, by all means. But if I'm spending $500 a day or $500 a month on ads or software or whatever overhead costs it could be, that question comes into play. Are we on the positive? Are we on the neutral? Or are we on the negative? And I see it with big companies, large companies, small businesses, medium sized enterprise. And I see it. And I'm like, okay, I can really see what's happening here. And we have to think about it. For example, we worked with a client. This was 2 years ago. This was even before this whole AI craze was going on. There's something called share of voice. When you think about a butterfly is flying in front of me. So that's really exciting. You don't see that every time. When you think about the SEO value, you have to think about the share of voice because share of voice equals the number of links within your sitemap. So we had this client and amazing company. They're global. They're the ones that built out Mall of America. They built out really great businesses out there and even schools and buildings out there. And when we started with them, we said, "Hey, let's get work going. Let's see how this works, and let's make this happen. Let's put this to the next level." And we decided, okay, let's make sure that you're first of all seen, because of course they were getting less than 1 million monthly impressions, and within 18 months they were able to move up to 3 million monthly impressions just by focusing on the tweaks and the things that were very important. And our share of voice was increasing about 2% on average every quarter. So it was like, okay, something is happening here. And this was even before all these tools were coming into place. So I said, okay, how are we going to get to the top of the AI search? And before it used to be called SGE, Search Generative Experiment. That's how the Google used to call it before. It changed now to Google AI mode or AI overview. And when at that time it was happening, I told them, I said, hey, this is what we have to do. The first thing, and it took a while because with corporate, with business, you don't just you don't just put anything on a website. You have to go through the board. They have to approve it. Like it takes time. For us to put this FAQ page, it took about 3 months to put this FAQ page on the website. But as soon as we put it, because I told them, get the top 10 most asked questions about your business, and let's fill these questions up and let them be approved by the team, approved by whoever needs to approve it, and put a green stamp on it. And then we can put that on the map. We put that on there within no time, about 2 weeks or so. Their share voice even jumped up because they have a dedicated FAQ page on their website. Now you can say, okay, yeah, me too. I'm just going to slap it on there and call it a day. No, there are things that go behind it. So these tools are very important because we have to think about the longevity of these platforms. And are we going to spend money on these platforms to get it back? Or are we using it to just track and just have an overhead cost that is way above our roof? So we have to think about the best practices by considering what are we doing these businesses for and why are we handling them the way they are as well. So profound for me. Everybody on stage said no. So that includes me too. I wouldn't spend that on the platform. Now, the next platform that I want to talk about, I'm going to rush through this because we're going down all the way to zero. The next one is Cognizo AI. Check the link in the chat. It's called Cognizo AI. This is another platform, and why I'm giving you guys, like, when you're hearing the bells and the like the I'll call it like the stop signs, it's because you start off at 100%, and then we can see if you can keep it at 100% or not. Cognizo, they focus on 4 platforms. They focus on ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google, and Meta. I believe this is Meta. Yes, and it's $4.99 for starters. And they say for growing startups and agile SMEs looking to start with AEO. That's answer engine optimization. You get about 200 prompts per platform. You get 24,000 responses per month. You have quarterly strategy sessions and you have chat support. Then their pro is $9.99 a month, but you don't even get more than the platforms. So you're actually paying for the same number of platforms, but at a higher cost because you're getting 500 unique prompts compared to, wow, $4.99 for 200 unique prompts. That is wild, if you ask me. So would you get it, John, Julie? Yes, no? The link is the chat. Check it out. We're going to run down this next one.
I'll just go through this very quickly. Here's what I'm looking for. Favor in case you want. So, if someone can promise me 1 million more downloads per month from my podcast, I'll spend $4.99 a month. I spend that now in advertising. I spend more than that now. So I don't have a problem. But see, $4.99 for 200 prompts, or $4.99 even for 4,000 prompts, is not worth it to me.
Thank you, John. So we're going to flip it. So that's a no. Julie, what about you?
You're just talking about 400 prompts for like to build your presence on AI. No, I would spend that at having someone do it for me so I don't even have to look at the prompts. So I'm not seeing that as a value add for my business.
Okay. So that's a no. Okay. Thank you, Julie. And for me, yeah, too, it's a no as well. These platforms are very interesting. I'm sorry, y'all. I mean, I can't knock anybody's hustle, but let's do things right. And at the end of the day, everybody has their own business model, servers, logs, encryptions, licenses, intangible assets. That's totally fine. It's not for me to speak on. I'm just talking about what they show on their public landing page. So please do your research because I'm doing mine too. And I'm just helping you do more research or kind of like giving you a catalyst so that you don't have to spend time prompting, because also all these prompts are not prompting everything because they're also learning at the same time. It's kind of like we're learning AI and AI is learning us. It's like you learn your baby the first time they're born and the baby's learning you. So you just have to take time and grow, but also know what you're growing with. The second one is Scrunch AI. Scrunch, what's up, Scrunch? So Scrunch AI is another tool, and I put the link in the chat. You can book a meeting with them. They're trusted by big brands like Skims, Lenovo. List goes on. Crunchbase, they've been on Wall Street, TechCrunch, great stuff, right? Now we go to the pricing because you can see all those things. Now they are about $300 a month for 350 prompts. You see where we're going with this? This is, I'm giving you
It's
guys,
very scary how it said 90% of human traffic go away. That's really scary, actually. So I don't know what's happening with this AI's kind of shift that the human element and the searchability is being given to AI. Does that make anyone else nervous?
it's quite interesting to see. I mean, I think these tools are more so in a way, it's like Google Search Console or Bing, that it's just that it's AI now and they have to be paid for because the people are paying for these services. But when I think about what you said, Julie, it's like we're giving the answers to AI for AI to give the answers back to us, which we've been doing, but not in the form of AI, quote unquote. It's kind of like been in the form of different kinds of prompting, maybe with Google search or with Alexa, which was just normal. But now it's like everybody wants to be on AI, everybody wants to be on this platform. So we have to also be careful to know what we're also delivering and what we're showing out there. So it's a little like you have to dance on it a little bit to be sure, what you're doing too.
Okay, good to know.
Thank you, Julie. CP says, I'll be honest, I can use an IT officer, but if AI can perform those tasks, I'm willing to pay for that too. There are projects that could exponentially grow my business. Yeah, that's true. Definitely. There are businesses that can do that, honestly, because I mean, time is the currency. We say what's valuable, time or money? Time, because some people say money. So it's always going to be a debate at the end of the day, but it's what matters to you the most that matters to you the most. Period. So I look at these platforms and I'm like, okay, I will pay for it, but is it getting me the value? What's the price and what's the cost? So Scrunch AI gives you that 350 prompts for $300 a month, or you get their growth plan for $500 a month for 700 custom prompts, or you pay $1,000 for 1,200 prompts or you go to enterprise level, and you can do that. Now, when you think about the platforms that they're giving you, you also have to think about where they're monitoring it from, how they're also putting it into place, and what are the platforms they're giving you. They're giving you ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, Meta AI, Gemini, Google AI views for these platforms, right? These platforms are giving you these prices for these tools. So, John and Julie, are we on the no side, or are we flipping because it's 300? Are we tipping over? Or is it still a no?
That's
Why
still
is
no
everything
for me.
$500? That's my question.
It's not even that. It's for me. It boils down to how many prompts are you getting for discoverabilities on platforms, and then because discoverability is the most important thing, no matter what business you're in. So for me, podcasting, think of this: podcast on one side, your audience and consumers on the other. How do you bridge the gap? So if the cost per action averages $1 to $1.50 per click, for lack of better words, it doesn't work for me. It needs to be 10 to 12 cents.
This is huge. Julie, same thing. So it's like no, 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 at all.
That's my no square. Yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy, guys. Okay, let's go to the next one for me to know. The next one is called Athena. I'm sure you guys are like, what are these tools? Where are we going with this? The other one is called Athena HQ AI. So go to AthenaHQ.ai. James says the question is, why are more people opting out of from their own annihilation? Wow, that's a bold question. This is interesting. Black to Glory says, why is an LLM needed? If you don't have it, you have to pay for it. Well, you have to pay for it if you don't know the alternatives, because there are alternatives. There's one that's actually free. So that's why I'm really going down from the highest level to the lowest so that you guys can choose which floor you want to be on. You want to be first class, economy, back of the bus. It's up to you. At the end of the day, we're all going to get off the plane at the same time or get off the bus, but it's up to you. You can decide how much luxury and experience you want to have. But I just want to make sure that you're choosing correctly and you're choosing wisely, because when you choose well, you do well. When you know better, you do better. So this platform we're talking about now is, thank you, Black to Glory, appreciate you, Athena HQ AI. Now, Athena gives you ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google AI overviews, Google AI mode. Those are two different things, by the way. AI overviews and AI mode. So don't let it get it twisted. Those are two different Google products. Then there's Gemini, which is another product of Google. So just think about the platform, the technical, and the brand. And then there's Claude, there's Copilot, which is Microsoft, there's Grok. We all know that's X or Twitter. And then there's more. They say and more. So I don't know what the other more are until you pay $295 a month to have access to that. That's their starter. Then their growth plan is $595 a month. And they put a plus there, meaning that if you want more, they're going to probably charge you per platform. And then enterprise is $11.95 per month. What are we saying, John and Julie? No squared.
You already know my answer.
Julie, the same thing too.
I do whatever it tells me, so no.
You see, so I think this is very exciting to see that at least we're all. And please, if you're in the chat too and you have a response, if you say yes to any of these platforms, because I think some people have said yes to, I don't. We are all right because we all have the right to choose. So it's definitely your answer and your choice. But please make sure you choose the right choice. Let me say it that way. Now, there's another platform called Am I on AI? No kidding. Am I on AI? As exactly as I said it, is as exactly as it is. Am I on AI.com? I put the link in the chat. Am I on AI.com? Now, I saw it, James said definitely not to all of the above. Guys, I feel like if you're listening to this, you're probably like, nope, 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 nope. So I feel you. We're on the same page. We're on the same page. I feel you 100%. Now, am I on AI is kind of like a little bit less stressful because these other ones have not even given you a trial to begin with. All of them have been pay upfront. Now, am I on AI gives you a 14-day free trial. 14 days. And then your single product, you can track one product. They don't tell you what product it is. I have to probably do more research on that. But if you track one product, you're paying $100. So technically, it's $100 per AI tool. You see how crazy it gets? They have weekly scans, you have 100 prompts. So technically, it's $1 a prompt. That's their business model. If you have multiple prompts, if you're on three products, I don't know which three products those are going to be. They say you have 300 prompts, that's $250. So it's a little less. So what are we saying, John, Julie? Are we doing it or not?
I'm not doing it. I want you to tell me something I want. Favor. Let's,
Here's my thing. So having prompts on AI, meaning and if I'm reading you right, you can put it in and it'll show you 100 times. That doesn't mean that user takes any action. If you are delivering traffic for $400-500 a month, I will go ahead and I'll buy it. But I don't need prompts because I got prompts already. And I think Julie said this. I'll hire someone to make sure I'm available on those platforms, probably for and one time, and don't have to do it every month.
That is true. That's true. I feel like these platforms are just taking the best opportunity. Just like it reminds me of when during COVID, during the pandemic, everybody had a mask brand. Like if you had a fashion brand, if you had handkerchiefs, you had paper towels, you had some type of masks to sell. It's like that opportunity right now. Everybody's big on AI. We don't know what to choose. And I'm like, all these tools and gadgets, they're shiny objects, but they're cars. If I really look at them, what car do you want to drive? By the end of the day, if you're driving that car, is it going to last? Is it going to maintain? Is it going to sustain? Or are you going to have overhead costs and maintenance fees and insurance fees and late fees and other fees, draft fees? You just don't want to have a overhead, overdraft, over stress problem. You just want to be fine. So that's what I'm giving you as these platforms. Another one is called Peak. Peak AI. PEEC dot AI. Put it in the chat. That's another one. Y'all can check that out. It says make your brand visible in AI chats. So even though they have a free trial, the other one, this one, let's see if they have a free trial. So these ones don't. Actually, they do. They have a free trial, but you get 25 prompts for ChatGPT, Perplexity, and AIO. I don't know what AIO stands for because AIO is answer or AI or artificial intelligence optimization, but that AIO is scanty. It's not telling me explicitly what AI tool or engine. So you see how these guys are? You have to read the fine print. They tell you got three countries, so you pay 89 euros a month. You pay 89 euros a month for the starter kit. You have a free trial. The pro, you pay 199 a month. Enterprise, you pay 499 a month. So that 499 a month you are paying on Profound, you could come to Peak AI and get the same thing, but you're gonna get a completely different experience. So it's like, okay, now they have add-ons. If you want to do OpenAI, that's $19 all the way through $49. If you want to add Claude, that's $29. If you want to add Gemini, that's $99. Like the thought of this thing is just crazy. It's scary to me, but at the end of the day, it's your business. But it's like, wow, is this really how we're running the business? So I don't know. I think for both of you, John and Julie, it's a no. So we can even skip this one because this is ridiculous. So now there are two more. I've talked about Ahrefs, Profound, Cognizo, Scrunch AI, Athena HQ, Amion AI, and Peak. Now, the last two are the ones that I would recommend. That's why I say these two for the last. So if you're listening to this and you made it here, you made it to the finish line, congratulations. I'm glad that you're here because this has been a long journey of 500s. So we have we have to definitely I'm applauding you because you're here, you're staying. And Black to Glory says I'd focus on a great offer and we're assuming a good product service underneath all of this. 100%. Now these last two, I'm going to tell you the one that is paid and the one that is free, and I'm on both of them. And I won't say I've talked to the one, but I've talked to them indirectly. But the one that I'll say that's last, I've actually talked to the developers, and they're in India as well, and I connected with them on LinkedIn. Now, this platform, you've never heard of it before, but it's called Mentions. Mentions, right? Mentions.so. I don't know if you've ever heard about it before. It's called Mentions, and I put the link there. Mentions.so. Mentions right? You can mentions is one of my favorite right now. So I'm not picking favorites, but I would call what my favorite is, and you would call what your favorite is. So let's put that in. Now, why I love mentions is because first you got to join the wait list. So this one you'll see the price, but you can't even get in because you got to join the wait list. So I joined the wait list about a month ago, and I got access to this yesterday. Sorry, 2 days ago. Today is Thursday, on Tuesday. So I'm on it and I'm loving it. And it's amazing. And they actually gave us a 50% off coupon because we came in early. So I'm paying about $50 a month. And I'm paying $50 a month for, guess what? I'm paying for all the LLMs. I'm paying $50 for ChatGPT, Cloud, Meta AI, Perplexity, Grok, Google AI mode, Google AI overview, DeepSeek as well, because I love DeepSeek. And it's just beautiful. There's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Yeah, there are eight of them. So the starter plan is $49 a month, and you get three LLMs, meaning that you get three large language models. That's ChatGPT, Google, and Perplexity for $49 a month. That's 25 prompts. That's 6,000 responses. It's updated daily. And what I realized in this platform, which is really cool, there's a countdown timer. So every time it hits a 0000, that's when it hits again because there's a new prompt in town, or there's a new prompt or question. So it has this kind of like a clockwork motion, which is really cool. And I love the way it has its own features in there. So I'm on the $99 plan and I have access to all the tools. So that's how I got to know what I'm ranking for on ChatGPT, on Grok, because I can actually see it. I can see my competitors, I can track them, I can actually do SEO properly to make sure that they're there. And then their business plan is $199, and the only difference is that you get unlimited sites, so you still get all the LLMs, and 'cause that's what I'm looking for, not sites. I'm looking for all the LLMs. So that's how I'm able to do it. You can have 5 sites on there. So those 5 sites, me plus 4 others, out of the clients that we have, the ones that would make it to those seats are the ones that would actually need those services or pay for those services because of how it is. So we'll tell them, hey, you can either pay it for yourself and get it, or we can do it for you and get it done faster. So it's really up to you. So when you look at these platforms mentions, what do you say, John and Julie? Would y'all get it, or is it still a no?
Here's my answer. So I just did, while you were talking, I did a quick search for the name of my show in ChatGPT, Claude, Meta AI, Grok, and all three showed up, and it cost me $0. Even went so far as put law enforcement podcast, and I showed up number one. I think it was in Meta AI. So that cost me nothing. So the mere mentions for me is not, again, this boils down to traffic. If I'm not driving traffic to my show or my website, I can't make money no matter how many times it's mentioned.
Okay. Okay. So Julie says yes, and then John is like, "You got to convince
I
me,
mean,
buddy."
I need to see the ROI. Like, I'm not convinced. This is the thing they need to do is educate us on why we need them. I get AI, the search engines, but isn't it more powerful still to direct all our money or ad money, our marketing money towards Google and that sort of thing? That's where this is new for me. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm sure John and Favor will have an idea.
So this is where it gets really tricky. So think about this like Bitcoin in 2016, 2017, when it was really early and people were really like skeptical about it. But at the same time, people that invested in it, or just like early days of Facebook or any company you can think of back in the day when it first started, AI is like that right now. So when you look at the mentions, you realize that whoever is ranking at the top of AI is as a result of the well done SEO that has been done prior to AI even becoming a thing. So that's why people are showing up on Google AI overviews or Google, mode, AI mode. They're definitely having a different, connection. Black to Glory says Perplexity is ChatGPT. That cancels each other. So they're offering two LLMs. Is the assumption more LLMs are better? Let me clarify this. Perplexity is Microsoft and ChatGPT is OpenAI. Those are two different entities, but they have a similarity in between them. So those are two different LLMs independently and also interdependently. So if you're going to use those two different LLMs, it's because two different platforms are having two different response systems. And then Juliana says, try the start of computers. Exactly. You see, so definitely that's a platform that, yes, mentions.so. It's a platform I would vouch for. And yes, they definitely, like Julie says, you have to educate your audience. You can't just throw them into the $500 month plan and there's no resource or educational tool to give you access to what you're paying for. And it's very interesting. Sometimes you meet these companies and they say it's written in fine print, but really, who wrote it? Somebody wrote it with a thought in mind. So it's, you have to just really know what businesses you're dealing with and how to also handle your business in a very professional way, but also in a very tactical way. It's kind of like playing chess. So that's very important to look at. Juliana, thanks for being here. What you got? What you got going on? What you thinking?
So I want to make a correction of the Perplexity and the Chat GPT. So this is what I know in the investment world, that unless it's changed in the last year or so, Microsoft bought out OpenAI, and OpenAI has Chat GPT. So if Microsoft has turned around and make Perplexity, let me make a prediction. What these giants do is that they acquire you, then they create a competitive product, and then they give you the boot. So this is what I think is happening with Microsoft creating Perplexity. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Juliana. Yeah, it's very interesting. I even got to read some more insights and got to know that even the Google engineer, the engineers that develop these products, they got acquired by, I think it was Gemini. Is it either Gemini, DeepSeek? It's one of the two, or OpenAI, one of the three. And it's like developers, engineers, it's like they're shifting goalposts. So it's like, okay, where are we going now? That's why I'm like, okay, be on all of them. Just like you want to be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, X, you want to be everywhere. The same thing applies to these AI tools if you can get there. And the only way to get there is by tracking these things. I mean, you track your finances, you track your payments, you track your data, you can track your eating habits, you can track these things, but you're tracking it knowing that, okay, this is a business tax write-off, but I know that by month 2, month 3, I should be paying for this based on the installation or payment that I initially paid for, knowing that I've been able to calculate and say, okay, if it's $50 a month, then times 12, what's that? What's that? What, 600? And you're able to now say, okay, do I have that money to spend? And can I make that twice? If I can make that twice, then okay, maybe I can decide on doing that and then seeing where that takes me. And if I get 1 or 2 clients that pays me 1,000, 2,000, then I've made my money back. So it's up to you and your pricing model, because you might have a low pricing structure and a high overhead cost. So it's really up to you to know like where you really want to go. And yeah, Black to Glory says maybe I was correct still. Then it could be in between those things. I feel like this is a brainstorming session. And yes, Microsoft, and people say it this way: when you connect your website to Google Search Console, you import it from Google Search Console to Bing. When you import it to Bing, Bing is Microsoft, and Bing is also ChatGPT, but ChatGPT is OpenAI. So I don't want you to confuse it either. But at the end of the day, they're on different platforms. There's a Perplexity tool, there's a ChatGPT tool. So they're not together as though they're one and the same, but they can interdependently work on each other differently. So just wanted to clear that out. And then before I say the last one, which is free, James, welcome to the stage. Thank you for being here. Any questions, contributions? The floor is yours. And thanks for participating today in the room.
Yeah, I was just gonna make this one comment, and then I'm gonna jump out. But the one thing that a lot of businesses, brands, companies, and enterprises make a mistake of is trying to speak to everyone. And when you do that, you're not speaking to no one. So this notion that you're gonna use a platform to do that, it's erroneous, and it's gonna cause more confusion and work for you as the CEO and your team. So I've never really understood that thought, and I can give you real world situations that are actually happening right now where brands have tried that and they're epically failing at it. You need to make sure that you're speaking to your true, like your actual audience, the one that engages with you. You create a dialogue and a rapport with them, and you build trust with them through your services or products, and that's how that works. Otherwise, again, what are you really doing? And I see this all the time. It doesn't matter what size of the company. I see people when they make these, these claims, or they take on certain actions to do a thing, and it just creates more swirl than anything else. So I say, before even looking at a platform, to be very clear on what problem are you solving. Look at certain strategies that you might leverage to solve said thing, and whether or not either these ecosystems or platforms could be a solution. Because just because they're available don't mean that they're actually the thing you need to actually solve your challenge or issue.
Thank you, James. That was big. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Black to Glory says, if you think you need an LLM, you likely do not need an LLM. I love that. James and I come from the same background. I'm 100% behind what he says. We got experience with global brands. Thank you so much for that feedback. It's true. Companies are spending money on ads, influencer marketing, SEO if they do. And it's a lot going on, but you really have to think about, where is this going to be going to? Look at Apple in September. They're going to notoriously take over Pinterest, and a percentage of their budget is going to be going into Pinterest advertising. So you think about it, where all these tools and platforms and algorithms going, how are we able to train the algorithm so we're not behind, we're not chasing clouds, we're somewhere that we can actually dominate and move from a position of power, as opposed to moving as a position of fear or confusion. And I love that you said that, James. I appreciate you for that feedback. The last tool and the final tool of the day, which is free, which I think I would also vouch for, because I've also spoken to the developers. They're in India. There are two of them, and amazing people I connected with on LinkedIn. And this is the tool. The tool is called Ethio. I've talked about it before. Ethio.co. ETH. So like Ethereum. So ETHEO. .co. That's a platform you can use. Even on their website, they don't have any pricing right now. But I talked to them. They said that they're going to start putting pricing soon. So if I were you, I would optimize my website by applying content pillars and content clusters in form of uniform resource locators, which are URLs, to pages on your website, because it's 3 layers. It's website, web page, web link. So if you have web links that can create web pages that come from websites like these LLM sites, then you can be the person that could be recommended when a search prompt or a default prompt or a custom prompt is asked to these platforms. That's how you're able to now maximize that. So Ethio gives you 5 prompts, and you put your website link. It will tell you here the 5 questions that your business is totally asking within the total available search market. Then from there, you can now decide, okay, if I want to have a service obtainable market, how do I attract those people? By looking at the competitive analysis. Look at my direct competitors, my indirect competitors, answer those questions, be at the top of brand search, at the top of non-brand search, and you're going to have a great time. But you have to do it with diligence and with tactics. So I hope this helped you out. There's a lot of tools, and it's very important to think about them. So John, Juliana, James, JJJ, what would you say about this? Would you all use this tool, or would we be like, nah, I'm not even going to touch it till later?
I'm on your website already. You know your sister. I love technology. I'm already
I love that.
background, and I'm going to be, and it comes from you, so I'm going to definitely take action on it and apply it. Because you know what, I understand people get iffy about new things, but sometimes if you bury your head in the sand, you get left behind. And this whole ChatGPT business going on, people who bury their head in the sand are going to be left behind, I'm afraid. And 10 years from now, people who are embracing it now are going to be way ahead of the rest of them. I keep telling you all about QuickBooks Online. When it came, most CPAs wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Now I'm using it to do a lot of stuff that my colleagues wouldn't even think of using it for. So go ahead, whatever your industry is, embrace it, use it, modify whatever it gives you, and make sure that it has the technical wording in it. It's just a draft. It's just a tool. It's like a computer. When it came up, people didn't like it. And I've been on here in this marketing club, and I said it. Keep your head, in the technology. Take advantage of it. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. So that's all I want to say.
Thank you so much, Juliana. Appreciate you for that feedback. And Julie also left. Thank you for being here, Julie. Black to Glory says depends on the industry. If everyone is using it, then we all did. Then all we did was raise the floor. True. The cream will still rise to the top. Facts. I was reading the chat. Yeah, go ahead, James.
Yeah, I was just gonna add this. So for me, no, and the reason why, I'll give two distinct different reasons. So one, the enterprise that I'm currently at, been there for 8 years. We wouldn't leverage this because by doing so, we're going to dismantle all of our strategies that we've already got employed through our entire ecosystem from a content architecture standpoint, certain meta tags, certain keywords, right, for organic and paid search. So if we leverage this, we're going to disinherently literally dismantle all of that. And now we're starting from scratch. So it wouldn't literally make sense for us to do that. Two, professionally, I already know how to do all of this. So this tool is not necessarily going to be of that much value to me. Having said that, if I have a client, right, where a particular space that I haven't necessarily had that much of a viewpoint or experience in and navigating what are certain challenges and things that I need to know that this business faces, or just even just the commonality of what it is to be in that space, and then this might be a tool that I might leverage. But again, I say might because I haven't dug into the back end of how this application works. And if there's any potential risk for IP leakage, infringement, or any cybersecurity risk either. So again, I'd have to fully evaluate this platform before I even decide to do that. But again, for the high level instance, no, because again, when you have things in place that are already set up and they're working, this inherently is going to set you back. You.
Appreciate you for that feedback. I'll piggyback on what you said on the first part. Because you already have your content architecture within a structured data platform, within a sitemap that is now on the website, you won't have to worry about that because you already created the trajectory pathway for the business based on the content and the context that you want to show up for within the search ranking platforms, whether it's from Escocia or from Bing or from Google or from you.com, wherever it's coming from, is going to point back to that anchor because Google's business plan, and I think I heard this too in Diary of a CEO, shout out to the podcast too. I heard someone talk about this. They said Google's business plan has always been the same, and it's very quick. It says focus on the user and everything else is handled. And that's why Google is doing as well as they are today with over 90% in market share, even though it's gone down because of these new tools. They still search traffic and they still have a search base because we're 8.2 billion in the world. Not everybody is using AI right now, but everyone is using Google. Everyone is using some type of tool that's going to help them get away with their search, whether it's privatized search through Brave browser or DuckDuckGo or through Safari. It's still going to come through one form or fashion. So to your point, James, you wouldn't need it. You would just be using it as a way to track and monitor and see your share of voice, just like you would with your Google Search Console performance tabs, or even like a platform like SEO Gets. The second thing you talked about was privacy and security, which is important. So these tools, how it works is that you connect your Google Search Console from your property acquisition standpoint within your DNS, and you don't have to put any codes into these platforms. You can easily disconnect if you want to, but these platforms are going to read and track scripts of your protocols within your domains assets to now get those in signals back to you to let you know whether you have those sitemap links, whether they're indexed or not indexed or tagged or not tagged. It's just a tool measure to kind of get the metrics. So it's not really a way of saying that we don't need it, but if you use it and you're using it to the extent of being searchable or findable, or even knowing what you're being searched for, then you're able to optimize it further so you can have a more advanced step as opposed to looking at it from a traditional standpoint. That was the only thing I wanted to clarify on, but everything else is spot on.
The
Thank
other side of that is if anything is powered by ChatGPT, based on the recent lawsuit, ChatGPT must retain all prompts and everything entered into it. And so what has been happening is that certain people have been able to almost word for word reverse engineer trade secrets if anything were put into ChatGPT. So depending on how their privacy settings are, you could be leaking data without realizing it and giving it away. And if people prompt properly, they can turn around and almost pull out your contracts and whatever else they need if they know how to search for it, because the AI is just spitting it right back up because you prompted something and now it's open for everybody to see. So that is a security issue that you definitely have to worry about.
100%. Thank you. Appreciate you for being here with us on the stage today. It was great to have, Casey, appreciate you for staying with us. Yes, James, please go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say what up to Black because I hadn't seen him on the app in a minute, but good to see you, bro.
Yeah, we got more important things to do, you know.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you brought this up, man. Thank you so much for being here. I think this was definitely the room to just demystify this whole theory because a lot's going on, and this is not going to be the only time you'll hear about this. It's going to keep happening, it's going to keep reforming, it's going to keep morphing out. So if you're just able to understand where you are and where things are, it's better for you. And that way you're able to have a much clearer scope so that you're also operating at a perspective that is different. It's like watching a movie from a director's cut point of view or just from a regular popcorn watcher. So it's up to you to determine how you want to see the movie and how you want to direct it. So thank you so much, John and Juliana, James, and Black for being
I
here.
have
Go ahead,
one more
William.
point. The statement I was making, it seems like Black and James thinks that I'm saying people should be putting their trade secrets or something. I'm the first person to be wary about confidentiality. I'm a CPA, for God's sake. So I am not saying people should be putting proprietary stuff there. All I'm saying is using the technology to get fundamentals of what you're trying to do, but don't put any of your proprietary information in there. I just want to clarify that because I'm highly classified individual, so I'm not saying you all should be putting trade secrets in ChatGPT. I want to make that clear.
Yeah, Juliana, we weren't addressing you at all in our comments. I'll say this though, you might know that. You have the understanding of what would be considered trade secrets and what isn't. The difference between intellectual property, brand positioning statements, things that are directly connected to the brand, and which we would even consider the anatomy of it. So you would understand all of that. The average person out here does not know anything of that. You have to understand, and this is no different than anything else, with any other technological advancements that we've seen historically. You put certain things in the hands of people that don't, one, understand it, two, nor respect its power, you end up creating a lot of harm. And we see that now because Meta is actually in the middle of an infringement lawsuit. Shein and Nike. I can go on and on. So if they are having these issues, imagine what it looks like for the mom and pop, the small business owner, the entrepreneur. It gets very dicey quickly because people don't understand any of these things. They don't have the training or backing and understanding that we do. So for me, it's a problem. And when I walk into certain conversations and I'm having certain conversations with certain people and they talk so, as a matter of fact, as if they truly understand what's coming out their mouth, it's telling me day in and day out that we do have an issue. And out in here, those of us that know, Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, even warned the world of, hey, I don't know if we should be leveraging this in the way in which we are. So there's no way escaping this, but this is where we are now. So we'll see what comes of this. Heaven forbid it becomes autonomous. Or, well, let me put it this way. We know it's going to happen at some point. But when that happens, we don't know which way this is going to go. But we know historically the way man has already operated. The things he does not understand, he does what? So we do have a problem, and I don't think anyone's addressing it, even when we start talking about IP infringement, of which our person in chief commander right now is trying to actually dismantle that as we speak.
This is a big deal. And that's why I wanted to make sure we have this conversation for people who have never even had a chance to listen in to this type of conversations in rooms that they probably haven't been in. So this is important to note. Just do your research, take this with a grain of salt, just understand where we are and move swiftly. Don't move fast, move swiftly. Be smart. Take your time, do research. After listening to this, go do more research because this is not where it's going to end. Because tomorrow something will happen and it changes. Google just changed their algorithm setup. It's called Google Movera. That was last month. Muvera. So things are changing. The way the language models are changing right before our eyes, we have to be aware. So when we think about all these things we're doing for ourselves, within our platforms, we also have to think about where we're showing up at and why we're even showing up for those reasons. And if you're showing up for those reasons, it's because there's something between those reasons that is making you show up for those specific key terms. So I appreciate this conversation and thank you, James, for pulling up here. Black as well. Thank you for joining. I see you got a ticket. So thank you for making it here to the marketing club, as well as Nyambi and Steve. Appreciate you. I tried the other flavor. It's amazing. Thank you so much for all that you do with Java Twist. Appreciate you. I see you as well, SMA and JP. Thank you for being here. We've talked about LLM SEO tools in 2025 and why it's so expensive. So yeah, you can decide if it's expensive to you, if it's inexpensive, if it's priceless, or if it's worthless. It's up to you. At the end of the day, you choose. And when you choose right, you do right. And when you know better, you do better. So God bless you all. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful Thursday. And I'm going to see you guys back in the marketing club very soon. Take care. Bye for now. Now, that was an episode, right? Thank you so much for listening to the We Don't Play podcast show. I'm so glad that you're here and you are sticking tight with us, especially to the very end. Now, this is season 11 and we're going to do it differently. And I want to make sure that every episode you listen to has something to give back so that you can also learn more after you listen. Now, We Don't Play podcast show is where you listen, you live, you learn, and you earn. So if you're in any of those positions out of those four, please make sure that you reach out to me. Send out an email through info@playinc.online. That's info@playinc.online. Or you could go to playinc.online, which is a website, www.playinc.online, playinc.online, and schedule a call so that we can get you on an SEO discovery call to talk about your business and help you with your marketing needs. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this helped you. See you in the next episode. God bless you. Jesus loves you. Bye.